Okay, now we're positioned. I think, is this a good position? I don't know. Kind of off center, but kind of a movie review, kind of uh the Odyssey that I just saw, and I really have no one to talk to about this. And whenever I watch a movie, I like to like, I don't know, think about it and ruminate on it, especially a movie as, heavy and dense as the Odyssey. But I feel like, okay, so in my opinion, the movie was way too long. They need to cut that shit down. It was 3 hours. It felt like it could have been shorter. My favorite part of the movie was definitely the Cyclops reveal. Like, that was so intense. And also, I realized, I was thinking when I was watching the movie, I'm like, the soundtrack on this is so good. Like, it like builds so much, and it like gave me so much suspense and put me on the edge of my seat at like every chance it got, but there was like no melody. And I also kind of appreciated that because it felt very reminiscent of the time we would actually be in Greece. Like, it felt like there would, I don't know, I'm sure there were songs with melodies, but like the drums and like the heavy bass, and like there was so much there that like I loved, especially with the climax scenes and the cinematic scenes. Like, it just gave me so much. Like, my heart was pumping, and I appreciated the soundtrack. And afterwards I saw Ludwig Gorson. I think I'm probably butchering his last name, but he also works a lot with Ryan Coogler, and he did Oppenheimer, and he did the Sinners soundtrack. And I was like, now it makes sense, because I was sitting there thinking, like, I was like, oh my god, the soundtrack is so good. Like, I'm so appreciating the soundtrack. And of course, it's Ludwig, because I love his work. So that was great. Soundtrack was great. Like I said, too long. The pacing was okay. It just felt like it was trying. I felt like it was telling two separate stories at the same time. Like, one was his journey. I guess all of it was his journey, but it was telling, like, I don't know the main character's name. Like, Matt Damon's characters. Oh, let me look it up. Let me look it up. Let me do my IMDb. I'm old. I'm still on IMDb. I know everyone's doing what is that one where you pick your top four letterboxed? But I'm a millennial. Like, what can I say? Or a zillennial, whatever you want to call it. So Odysseus. It's called the Odyssey. His name is Odysseus. Like, I'm stupid, but it was telling like Odysseus's journey, and like after the war and all that stuff, but also like telling a story of what's going on at home while he's been away. And I felt like it was just like kind of just a lot. It honestly could have been in two parts. I feel like I would have eaten that up if it was in two parts. Um, because I think the thing I was most interested in was his journey with his men. It reminded me a lot of like the live action One Piece, and also obviously Percy Jackson. And it's ironic because I knew a lot of the characters in the story, especially in the first part when they were going on the Odyssey. Like, I wonder if the Percy, I've never read the Odyssey, the books. Maybe I should, but I wonder if, I mean, obviously, I would assume that the Percy Jackson books are based on the Odyssey, or maybe stories. I know the Odyssey is a collection of tales, right? I don't think it's just one story. I think it's multiple stories. I think, someone correct me. But it's definitely obviously heavily influenced by the Odyssey, because I knew so much of the lore of the journey that they were on, like when they the like passing the sirens, and Cersei turning them into animals, that happened in the Percy Jackson books. And like what else, the Cyclops, like that one was also. And I wonder what the true history of that is, or maybe there's conflicting stories, because in the Percy Jackson books there is a Cyclops that has the herd of sheep, but then they said in the movie that, oh, that Cyclops that had the herd of sheep or whatever was Poseidon's son. But like in the books there's one Cyclops, a big Cyclops, that's a full Cyclops, that has a herd of sheep or whatever, and is like holding their friend hostage. And then there's Percy's half brother, who's like a half Cyclops, like half son of Poseidon. So it's like his half brother, and he's like normal size, like he's big, but he's not like huge. So I wonder what the story of that is. But anyway, so I knew a lot of the lore, which was really fun and interesting. I gotta finish the Percy Jackson series. I haven't finished it. So I like my favorite part was the reveal of the Cyclops. Like, that was so good. Like, I was on the edge of my seat. Literally, when I saw the sheep go in, I was like, and then I saw the flies. I was like, is there gonna be like a pit of like dead humans? I thought it was gonna be like a pit of like dead people in there, and then come to find out it was like a huge cyclops. And I loved the sci-fi of the cyclops. So like the CGI was like really good. I love the animation style, and I so appreciated, like, they made him so creepy looking. Kind of reminded me of Gollum from Lord of the Rings. Um, and I like that they like made him like, I don't know, I felt bad for him at the end. And I think that ultimately, I think that decision by Odysseus led him down the journey that he did, which ultimately came to realize like they did fucked up shit in Troy, and they shouldn't have done what they did. And I kind of appreciated it. It kind of felt like, maybe was this all like this journey like a metaphor for the journey that he had to do coming back from war, and like reconciling with the things that he's done. Like, obviously I know like it's based on a Greek tale, but also on the flip side, like, the inhumanity of war like can alter your brain. And I appreciate that. And there was also a callback to like the person that he's been seeing as Athena this whole time was actually a person that he killed in war. And so it was an interesting like thought of like he's encountering all of these weird supernatural things, which ultimately leads him to the conclusion that like what he did was fucked up and like bad and inhumane, which led him down this journey, this path, and ultimately led to all his men dying, and leads to him like going west into the unknown to honor the dead that he ultimately led to their death. So that was interesting. I appreciated the story. Hated his son, Odysseus' son. Let's see, Telemachus. I don't know I don't remember how to say his name. I hated his character. I felt like he needed more character growth. For a 3-hour movie, I felt like he was just kind of there. Like, he didn't really have a hero moment for me. I guess his hero moment was where he finally defeated that, I guess he was one of the servants or something, who was like giving the people downstairs the weapons to fight against his father. But even that, it's like, you had all this training. You had all these years. You can't fight one measly guy who really doesn't even really have military training. You can't fight him 1v1. Like, that was very much like he was just kind of there for me. Like, he didn't really have an arc. I didn't really root for his character. I didn't care for him. I felt like he was weak, like compared to his father, who's like this epic war hero. And this guy did nothing. He did nothing. And he had all the training in the world. And I get that he's supposed to be young, but it's like, you had all this military training. You had all this time. You can't 1v1 someone who hasn't had nearly the amount of training and education that you have. Like, chopped. You're chopped. Like, that annoyed the shit out of me. Like, he was an annoying character. I could have done without him. It could have just been Odysseus and not his son. I felt like his son was just there. His son barely does anything. I thought, like, when they started with his son, I thought his son was going to go on a hero journey, but it was more so following Odysseus's hero journey from the past and, like, what he did to get to where he is now. Like, the son barely did anything. He went out of town to ask a king, hey, do you know where my father is? And then when the guy said no, he went back home. That's all he did. That's all he did. There was no hero journey. There was nothing. Like, Percy would not do that shit. Percy is a true hero. This guy, Telemachus, whatever he is, does not deserve to be king. And the fact that they made him king at the end, and his Odysseus just gonna be exiled or whatever, he's gonna go away. Like, that man is gonna be assassinated in 2 weeks. Telemachus is his son. He's not gonna make it to see tomorrow. Let me tell you, he can barely fight. He has no survival skills. Like, Robert Pattinson's character was gonna pull up on him with a knife. He had no idea. He could have been slaughtered right there. And speaking of Robert Pattinson, can we talk about Robert Pattinson? Like, he's so good at playing a villain. It's crazy. It's crazy how good he is at playing a villain. Like, I genuinely hate him. And he's so good at an act, like, hate his character, not actually him. But he makes me hate his characters. He's so good of an actor. He makes me, like, hate his characters that he plays. And he's just so good. He's just such a... He's like a talent of a generation. He's so underrated. I feel like now he's starting to get his flowers now that he's been... He was at MIA for a little bit after Twilight. I feel like he needed to get his bearings. And, like, I genuinely feel like this is me being parasocial. I feel like he was trying to figure out like what he even wanted to do. Like, you know, like Twilight was so big, and I know he really hated that, and I feel like he wanted to do something that was artistic and like different, like work on his craft, and that's why he did all of those small movies. And then genuinely, once he did Good Time with with Safdie brothers, like that to me cemented him as like a talent of a generation. Like his performance in Good Time to date to me is his best performance. Like he is so good in Good Time. I love his character in that because it toes the line between him being a total piece of shit and me hating his character and he's deplorable in things that he does, to also seeing the humanity in him and how much he loves his brother and will do anything for his brother, even do fucked up shit. And it was so high octane, stressful. It was like a thriller, but action, but also based in real life. Like this could be someone's real life, and his acting was so good, and his interpersonal interactions were so good, and it was just, you never knew what he was gonna do next, and it was just like such a good movie. If you haven't seen Good Time, like honestly, one like a movie of a generation. Genuinely, it deserves to be a cult classic. It's so good. Anyway, moving on. Speaking of Safdie brothers, and I'm gonna end on this note because I don't want to get too crazy in my Odyssey review. But Adam Megman, I don't know if I mentioned this already. Hot. Talk about fine shit. Like, I was looking at him. It gave me the same, I'm getting chills thinking about this. It gave me the same vibe that I got when I saw Nosferatu. Speaking of Nosferatu, I have the DVD right here. Let me pull it up. Like how I felt when I saw Nosferatu in theaters, okay? And I saw this man. And if you don't know who that is oh my god, that is, what's his name? Is this Nicholas Hoult? Oh my god, I blanked on his name. Sorry. It's like 8:23. By the way, I didn't say that. It's July 21st, 8:23 p.m. and I've been working all day and just left the movies and watch a 3-hour movie. So forgive me if I'm a little out of it. But Nicholas Hoult in Nosferatu, that scene in his trench coat where he's walking and there's like trees and it's snow lined and he's walking a path and it's like you could hear his boot steps like boom, 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 boom. And he's wearing this trench and it's like you could see his broad shoulders, okay, from the back. And you just see his back and you just see him walking and you hear his heavy ass footsteps and you see his like super wide back. That turned me on so bad. Like turned me on. Like that was a sensual experience. Like watching his character was so sexy to me. People were talking about Nosferatu. No, it was Nicholas Hoult's character in Nosferatu. Who cares about the monster? Him? Fine shit in that movie. But this guy, Adam Megman, whatever, fine shit. Him in his costume, anytime he showed up in that costume, he had a presence. He didn't say anything. I love a silent king. I love a man who's quiet on the creek. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's quiet on the creek, but he has a presence. He shows up, he shows out. His costume, 10 out of 10. He looked good. That's all I'm gonna say. And then I was like, who is that? Because at first, when I first saw him, I saw he had like really blue eyes, but he had dark hair. And it kind of gave me, he had kind of the same physique and build to me as Lee Pace. But then I was like, that's not Lee Pace. Like, I was looking at him and I was like, that's not Lee Pace. For sure not Lee Pace. But I'm like, who is that? And I looked it up afterwards. It was Benny Safdie. That had me gagged. Like, that gagged me. When I found that out, I was like, Benny Safdie. I don't know if you've seen Benny Safdie. Let me see if I can get a flick. Because... yeah, this is him, and this is like a pretty good pick. Like, this is him. Wait, this is Benny Safdie, okay? But if you saw Adam Megman, like pictures don't even do him justice. Like in the Odyssey, like that costume. First of all, 10 out of 10. Like 10 out of 10 out of 10. But his presence on screen was so good. I mean, he's such a good actor, Benny Safdie. But, like, okay, this, I guess, kind of gives you an idea. But it's not even close. It's not even close to, like, how good he looked on screen. He was just so hot. And apparently there's discourse because his costume isn't historically accurate. Like, let's be real. You got European white people playing Greeks. I mean, let's be for real if we're talking about historical accuracy. Like, historical accuracy went out the window when they cast Matt Damon. Like, let's be serious, you know? But I love a good time and I love a good costume, and that costume was 10 out of 10, and he was such good eye candy. Like, anytime he was on screen, I was like, fine shit. So, yeah, overall, Odyssey, final notes, cliff notes, too long. Could have been cut a little short. I could tell a lot of money went into the budget for like costume and set design, which I really appreciated. I could tell that they actually did a lot of like real life based sets and costume design, and I appreciated they didn't rely a lot on, I could tell they just didn't rely a lot on like CGI and did more practical effects. The landscape was beautiful. My mom's actually been to Greece, and she was saying all these different locations that either they mirrored or they actually filmed in Greece, because she said they looks exactly like when she was in Greece. So I appreciated the realism of the set, and it was, like I said, I could tell a lot of money went into the budget for the set design and everything. It was a beautiful movie. Even the cinematography was amazing cinematography. Soundtrack amazing. I know this was an expensive movie just by looking at it, just by the cast. Given how many stars are in this cast, I'm sure they spent a lot of money on the cast, the set, like the cinematography. Like, a lot of money was spent on this, and I'm sure they're gonna get their money back, because even the theater I was in, it was IMAX, and it was basically packed. Like, it was packed, and I haven't been in a packed theater since like Sinners, so they're probably gonna make their money back. What else? Yeah, hated Telemachus, whatever. Hated his son's character. Felt like he was kind of pointless. He didn't really go on the arc that I wanted him to. I wanted him to go on like a hero's arc and feel worthy of taking the throne. I don't think he was worthy of taking the throne or being king, and I feel like he's going to be assassinated in 2.2 seconds. I liked the wife. Anne Hathaway's character was really good. I appreciated that she was like a strong, independent woman and like loved her man. I liked Odysseus. I loved that he was a hero but flawed, and they explored his humanity and like how he feels after war and like killing a bunch of people. Like, sure, he won the war, but he has to live with the conscience that he helped slaughtered so many people. And Adam Megman is fine shit, and that's kind of how I feel about the Odyssey. Overall, out of 10, I would give it like an 8 out of 10. Like, it's a solid ass movie. It's a solid movie. Is it something that I would like ever say is one of my favorite movies? Probably not, just because I'm into Greek, mythology, but it just didn't hit. I prefer more like campy, weird type stuff, like Nosferatu. The Odyssey just doesn't. It's a very like action, epic hero kind of story, but it's not really what I naturally gravitate towards. Not that I hated it, because like I said, I thought it was a really great movie, and I could see people this being their favorite movie just because, like I said, everything about it was amazing. But you could tell a lot of love and time and effort and money was put into this movie. So yeah, those are my final thoughts. So thanks for watching.